Interesting. Welcome to the 802 weekly update. Live here from Inside Scoop, Main Street, Barrie, Vermont. With us, of course, we have the ever lovely Raylene.
I don't know about lovely, dear, but
I know.
good
I say
evening.
that all the time. Does that bother
I know.
you?
No.
No?
Why would it bother me?
Well, you never know. It could bother you. It could bother you that I say that. I'm like,
I don't get offended by much.
you don't get offended
No.
by much? You know
No.
what I'm going to say?
And if I am, I would tell you
if somebody has
quickly.
a problem with me saying that she's lovely, you can just like,
Well, it doesn't
suck a
matter
fart.
if anybody else does. It only matters if I do, and I
True.
don't get offended by much. I really
this is
don't.
true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm like came in here on two wheels again. The Thursday thing seems to be like crazy. It just is a busy. It's been a really busy, crazy day.
You know, it would probably be easier if it was just like, I don't know, maybe an hour later.
Nope, not happening. Because I am so exhausted that in an hour from now, I'm going to be so happy to be in my jammies, curled up with my tea and my fig Newtons, not caring about the world.
Fig Newtons. Linda says hi, and Glenn says good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Glenn. I saw Glenn. I was driving by and I was dropping off a sign. He already had my sign. So
Awesome.
he says he'd be asleep at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. So, and we want to be able to get Tracy Lewis in here
That's
and some
true.
other
That's
people.
true.
And
Clayton Woodworth says hello. Good evening,
hi,
Clayton.
Clayton. I saw Clayton last night at the Den.
Did you?
Yeah.
What were you doing at the Den?
I went over there and I was live for a bit because Bon Lafayette, the Green Mountain Boy, local, who is a musician, is home for a little bit. And he was at the Den with Donna Thunder and Chris Martin last night for the open mic night. And so, yeah, I went over so I could go live and so that I could meet Bon. And it was a great time. It was packed. I mean, like, packed. Though they were hustling last night for sure. But it was a great time. And I saw most of your family.
I know.
I sat with your mom.
My mom, let me tell you, my mom is a boogier. She will take the boogies and put them right into the little tissue that she has. But she's also, the look on your face.
Like, what?
Don't you know the joke there about the boogie?
No,
You get a
I
little
guess
boogie
not.
in you? No?
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
but she likes to dance. She was dancing in her seat.
She is definitely a groupie for Donna Thunder.
She is.
Oh yeah. She's like a total groupie. She's a total groupie.
Well, and then it was your niece,
grandniece,
and
or
grandniece,
great-niece.
and your grandniece got up there with all those big bad adults that have been playing for forever, and she played a song on the bass guitar. She played with them as they sang and did their thing.
Yeah.
It was just really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to leave early because you didn't have as much energy as my mom does, right?
I know. I that's very true. I left earlier than your mom. She stayed. She was still boogieing, I think.
She was there probably until I would say about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's about the time that she came.
So she
came
stayed
home.
about an hour and a half longer than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because you're not a Donna Thunder groupie. I'm just
Yeah.
Just
It
saying.
was but it was nice. It was a good time. It was I mean, they're always busy anyway, but not that busy on a Wednesday night. So it was like, whoa, and it was obvious that a lot of people came out to see Bon, and were happy that he was home for a little bit. And his father, he and his father did a song as well. And yeah, it was a really good night.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And I got hugs and kisses from Clayton.
Well, hey, can't go wrong.
Nope,
Glenn says, "Go, Granny."
that's
She
right.
is a granny.
She had this really cool jacket on last night. Your mom did. I loved
she's a stylist. She usually dresses up pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I loved it. I really did.
Did she have a nice hat? Like a really cool hat? Like
No,
with,
last night she didn't have a hat on.
wait a minute. What? She didn't have a hat on?
No.
She's supposed to have a hat on when she goes out.
Why?
A specific hat. A really cool hat. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, the Michael Booten
Yes.
hat? No, she did not have your special Michael Booten.
She's not listening right now, but when she, I'll be.
You're going to be giving
I'm
her
gonna
hell?
be giving her crap.
Well, don't give her too much crap because she's a great lady.
She is.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So you want to talk about what's on the news?
yeah, let's.
Like, do you want to talk about the presidential debate? Are you
Not
super-
really. And we got, so listen, we got a
only
lot of
kidding, I
shit
will.
about that yesterday.
That
So
we-
I
what do you
got
mean?
several messages because I had posted the news and all the stuff in the morning that I always do, but I totally avoided the debate. And so I hadn't posted anything. And people wanted to know why we were ignoring it. And truth be
Did you
told,
watch it?
I did watch it.
No,
but,
I know, but that's the
yeah,
reason why. It's
well,
like,
but no, for me, it was more my whole thing with not discussing it or leaving room for discussion yesterday was the fact that it happened on the eve of September 11th. And all morning long on the news, every news station, that's all that was being talked about was the debate and not anything about September 11th. And that really pissed me off. And, I don't know if that was by design or what, but it's September 11th wasn't a day that I was willing to ignore. And so I much rather ignore the fact that there was a dumbass debate the night before where I really stopped when I was done watching it, just shook my head and was like, what the hell just happened kind of thing. And I just chose not to talk about it.
Yeah. No, and certainly, this is the 23rd year, and it was really, it was the flag was put up, which was really
Wonderful.
awesome.
Very awesome.
Big props to Nicholas, but the real
And the fire
spearheader-
department and everybody. Yeah.
The person that really spearheaded that, though, was Keith Cushman, who is a phenomenal fire chief.
Yes,
I'll
he
just
is.
say that.
We're
I
very
like-
lucky
I
to
like
have
Keith.
him. I do
Yeah.
as well. And we know just a couple of years ago we were fighting to have the flag up that day.
I
We
know.
had a beautiful
Oh, yeah.
ceremony in the park and
Yep.
where it had to hang up there from a crane, and it was still a beautiful time. But just a couple of years ago, we were fighting to be able to celebrate that day. So to ignore it yesterday was just not going to happen. Not on my part, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if folks, if you like seeing the flag up there, you should send a message to your counselor, or better yet, just send it to the city manager and let them know.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for putting it up, because that's what I did when I found out. I was actually listening to, because sometimes I'm just like tunnel vision, and you don't notice it. And I sent a message and I said thank you for putting it up, and he told me that it was Keith that really spearheaded that. So, which I'm very thankful. Thank you, Keith. I really appreciate
Yes.
it.
And I do as well. It was awesome to see.
It is, and it's definitely, something to remember. We, and for folks that may not know, who may not have been in the city when that went down. I mean, it was now 23 years ago. Probably, there's people that I don't
Didn't live here
understand.
then.
They didn't live here. I mean, that's a pretty long time ago. When the reason why the flag on Main Street is important is because after 9/11, as a sign of solidarity, Berry City put the flag up, and it was actually a
Homemade flag.
homemade flag, right? That was quilted, and the fire department still has that flag. And it would be really cool to have that up on a permanent. I think it is actually. It might be on a permanent display in the fire department. I don't know if that's true. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But it's yeah. Anyway, the point is that it was put up for solidarity and
Right, and the homemade flag was different pieces
by
that
kids,
people,
for
kids
kids meeting.
contributed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes.
It was really cool, and then it was replaced with a normal flag, and then over time it just went away, and then a couple years ago at the 20th anniversary, it was
brought back out, but
almost
not
brought back out.
Brought back out.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
unfortunately, at the time, elected officials who some are no longer with us, and some of them are also no longer with us, which is, myself. I'm no longer on city council. But I supported the flag. Nevertheless,
Right.
point is that
Some did not, and
right.
some of us just don't understand that whole how that could be. But
anyway, so moving on, nobody wants
Yes.
to drag up the flag
exactly,
debate again.
But tonight they're saying a geometric storm is coming over us, and that could cause us to be able to see the northern lights again over Vermont and New York. And weren't you one of the people bitching because you missed it last time?
Yes, and I'm sure I'll be complaining this time as well, because some reason I can't see them.
Well,
'Cause
they tell you how to do it in the article
You
that
have
is
to look
posted
into your
on the
phone.
page. Yeah, and well, no, you don't have to look. I've seen them totally blind eye. It depends on how vivid they are, how much they're dancing. I've seen the Northern Lights several times actually, and they're absolutely incredible. One time I saw them when I was in the Northeast Kingdom, and there was nothing like that. That was absolutely I was staying on Island Pond, and it was awesome. But the best time to view those is between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. So, and you and I are both usually up past midnight, so you never know. You just go up outside, and you'll be able to see them maybe. I'll call and let you know if I can see them from the hill. But yeah, it looks like the skies are going to clear out around 10 p.m. tonight, so there should be some good views and good pictures of the Northern Lights tonight
Nice.
over Vermont and New York.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited about it actually, because I did not see them last time.
Yeah, neither did I. And I'll be honest with you, if I have to look through it with my phone, I'm not going to, because I can see much prettier. I'm one of those people. I can see them on the computer.
Right.
They're much prettier.
Yeah.
And whatever.
And they're pretty all by themselves without even being enhanced. But it does tell you how to take pictures and what your shutter needs to be and stuff. It does tell you how to take good pictures of them in that article as well.
But why would I want to take pictures? Why do I want to take pictures of it? I mean, if I want to take pictures of it, I'll go online and I will see the pictures. And those
You'll
pictures.
steal somebody else's pictures.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will, Raylene. Maybe I will steal someone else's pictures, post them, and say, "Hey, these pictures are mine."
Well, you never know. People do that all the time. In Georgia, Vermont, police say someone used an explosive to blow up a mailbox off its post. Vermont State Police say they responded to a home in Georgia Shore Road Thursday morning for a vandalism report. Multiple neighbors told troopers they heard the explosion Tuesday around 8:30 p.m. And anyone with any information is asked to call the Vermont State Police St. Albans Barracks at 802-524-5993 and leave your anonymous tip.
Yeah, that's a little concerning. Folks should not be putting bombs in.
So when I was in school, that happened to several people that lived on Berlin Street. This is way back in the mid 80s. where they were using M80s
No.
inside of mailboxes and blowing them up. Yeah. And sometimes they would take baseball bats to them. And ours just happened to be on the end of the line of mailboxes. And so my dad had one made of really thick steel. He had so he said, there, let him hit that. Yeah. But
Sorry,
then
I
we
almost-
found out that, if somebody had hit the mailbox with a wooden bat and they got hurt because of his steel mailbox, he would have actually could have gotten in trouble for their injuries. Go
Are
figure.
you sure? That's ridiculous.
I know.
I mean, let's be honest. That's
I know.
totally ridiculous.
But are you surprised? I mean, really?
no.
No. Here's a
Have
good.
you ever hit a mailbox driving?
No.
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 What the hell was that noise?
Lord only
Oh.
knows.
Sounded like it was somebody coughing, but from over here it sounded like somebody was vomiting.
Oh.
It sounded like a dog, which is one of those noises that
Alarms everyone.
Everybody.
Right. Brings everybody to a
Yeah.
startle.
Jen says hello.
Hi, Jen. I miss
Glenn
Jen
says,
terribly.
in my misspent youth, I may or may not have blown up a few mailboxes.
With M80s?
With M80s? Glenn! Oh,
But that used to be the
We could tell you
extent
stories
of
about my
right,
missed youth.
right. That used to be the extent of our troubles.
Yeah.
We used to think it was a blast to come down and play. Now the word just went out of my head. When you get out of the car and you run around the car and get back in,
Chinese
fire drill.
which I think is probably inappropriate.
Right, we're probably inappropriate to call it that anymore.
Demonetized.
So whatever, but that's what they called them. And
Suppose
we
we'd have to
got
be
my
monetized
grandmother
first.
we got my grandmother to play with us one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did. She had a blast.
That's great.
Yep, she had a blast.
That's great.
So here's one for you. You're
Okay.
gonna love this one. So
Sure.
the U.S. is divided when it comes to state and federal marijuana policies, but recent political developments could move the country toward a greater acceptance of cannabis.
Wow, that sounds really great. Maybe we should allow our children to smoke pot too, so that they can all become developmentally delayed.
Well, no, I mean it should just be like cigarettes or anything else where you can't do that stuff
but
until
the
you're of
problem-
age. They're
but the-
gonna smoke it anyways, whether it's legal or not, you fool.
But the problem is that the brain doesn't complete its process of growing up until
Until
like
it-
age 25.
Yeah, in some
In-
cases it takes even longer than that.
It takes longer for me. But the issue is that it has epigenetic changes in your body.
So does everything you eat
Well, I
that you
get-
buy
I
at the
get-
supermarket.
I
I'm
get
just telling
that.
you.
I get that. But when you're talking about a kid,
Mm-hmm.
an underdeveloped brain, that's a problem. It's the same thing with our cell phones and our screen time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge problem. And whatever.
Well, I'm
nobody
going to
likes what I
assume
say.
I'm going to assume that even if a
I know,
presidential
Glenn. It's not going to stop. I know.
I know that even if a presidential candidate decides that that's the case, that they're certainly not going to say, no matter what your age is, you can smoke pot. Although, I think that cannabis in the form of pills or gummies, I think that it would be okay to use that in child cancer patients.
Oh, well,
Because
that's not even a
the
question.
medications that they give the children for pain relief are opiates. And I would any day much rather see a child be given marijuana, THC, than I would an opiate. And
Yeah.
most adults, any adult, the addictiveness is, and what it can do to you mentally, physically, the whole nine is
Yeah, I'm not
a huge difference.
absolutely. I'm not gonna argue the medicinal.
I know,
part
you know,
personally.
I
Yeah,
smoke
yeah,
pot for my MS. You know
yeah.
I do.
I'm
So
that's not. And
we
even if
talk
you,
about that all the
but
time.
honestly, for folks that do it for recreation, believe me, I know a lot of people that do. I personally abstain from it, but when I was younger,
Right,
I
you
I,
didn't
I
necessarily,
didn't.
right?
I mean, I know that back in the day when Clinton was talking about, smoking marijuana, and he said he only, wait.
No, he didn't
He didn't
inhale.
inhale. I will tell you that
Clinton
I
didn't do lots
also
of things.
inhaled multiple times.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I'll just say I may have inhaled multiple times, and thankfully it was not something that became a, a habit.
Yeah.
Although it was habit for 4 days straight.
And then you decided that
Then
just
it was
wasn't
like,
for you.
this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
It was a very long 4 days, and I could tell you the stories of those 4 days, but
No, we probably don't.
Probably
We
not.
don't want to ruin your reputation, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is on the table. It's
So,
being.
wait, I have to say, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Barack Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the fact that when he was asked that question, he said, "Yeah, I inhaled. That's the point."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. You're trying to kid.
Yeah, and we know that Bill Clinton inhaled.
Of course he did.
Did more than inhaled. He did all sorts of things, inhaling and stuff, and everything else.
Uh-huh.
Ugh,
Yeah.
go on.
He also didn't have an affair because he didn't really have sex. But we won't go there.
Well, as I said,
Right. Oh boy. So, anyways, it's changing. They're considering it, and probably actually with either candidate, it would end up with some reclassifications, and
Oh, yeah.
that is being thought of even more as more and more states sign on and make it legal. It just seems
yeah.
really, they got to do something.
And for clarity, I don't think it should be illegal. I think it should be similar to alcohol. I actually think that alcohol is more dangerous to families and communities than marijuana
Oh,
is,
me
in
too,
my
by
opinion.
far, by far.
I will say this: I have never met an angry pothead.
No.
Have you?
No, actually, I have
No?
not.
Has if anybody is out there that's listening, have you ever met an angry pothead?
Are we allowed to dim the lights a little bit?
I can.
All right, just a little bit, because all I can see is this green spot when I look over there. I think maybe they're lower or something. I don't know. Sorry, guys. But
Is that better?
yeah, if we can do that, would be,
Is that better?
yeah. Is that good for
Yep.
you too?
Yep.
All right.
That's fine.
And then, here's something big in the news, which you know about, and I think that we should probably talk about it a little bit, is the fact that there's still no budget in the BUUSD district, but hopefully we'll see what happens. But the revote is the 17th, and you can vote at the Berry City Auditorium from 7 to 7 on the 17th, and you can vote in Berry Town at the elementary school from 7 to 7 also. But it's the school has once again cut its spending plans and scheduled for a fourth budget. So that's going to be happening on Tuesday.
And I do
We'll
plan
see what
to.
happens.
I do plan to be at the polling booth on Tuesday for two reasons, right? Obviously, I'm running for state rep, and I'm also going to be there if people have questions about the budget. I'm not going to be probably able to answer like nitty gritty stuff,
Right.
but I might be able to explain some of the aspects of it. And certainly I would immediately try to get the information to you if you have a question. And you can go to the BUUSD website It's buusd.org, and take a look at the budget stuff. And if you have questions, send an email to the superintendent. She is saying within 48 hours she will get a response, and that's, it's important. Joanne Canning has worked as a superintendent for 40 years, right? She has 40 years of experience, not just working in Vermont, working in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I mean, all around the world, literally all around the world, and 40 years. And her comment is, she thinks that she can manage this budget with what we've got, but if we go any lower, she believes that we will be impacting students.
Right.
And that's where
I heard her say that
Yeah.
when she was.
and I know, and for clarity, and I say this all the time, I understand if you can't afford $1, you're not going to be able to afford $10, right? I get that. I think of the parable in the Bible about the servant that owed the king, money, and it wouldn't make a difference if he owed 100 or 100 talents or 1 talent. He couldn't afford one, right? And the king forgave him, and that's a whole different story about sin and all that. But the point is that you can't afford it, and I understand that, and I don't think that just because people don't support the budget, they are immediately like Project 2025,
Right.
or defunding our schools. That's not true. It's just they're tapped out, right? I get that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's
really
been a
hope
really
that
rough
folks-
year, a rough few years for
It
many
has.
people, and it just keeps getting harder and harder and
Absolutely.
harder.
Absolutely. I just hope that folks will consider voting for the budget, and I really strongly endorse it and ask people to vote for it, and we just need to
And I
move
know
on.
Tom supports
Yep.
it. He spoke up at the council meeting before last and said that he's in support of that budget. So,
And be prepared, because there might be some big endorsements of the budget coming down.
yeah.
Nothing that I can speak for, but there might be some big endorsements of asking people to vote for this budget, and we just need to move on, and we need to make changes during the year, not during the budget process.
Yep. Yep.
But
So,
anyway, sorry.
no. I mean, we need to let people know that that's what's happening. And so, yeah, the 17th,
Yep.
get out, vote. No matter how you're voting, just please
Yep.
get out and vote. It's really important.
Absolutely.
And as we know, the number of people that vote in the city is super, super low,
Too
no
low.
matter what is being voted on.
Yep.
The number is just far too low compared to the number of registered voters and the registered citizens of the city.
Yeah.
It's actually quite sad and quite frightening that
It is.
that many people choose to just not deal with it. I would love to know statistically how much that has changed over the years, like, from decade to decade in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I would love to know the numbers then and the numbers now and where it is that people kind of just gave up. It would be interesting to know that and know what was going on in that time that everybody just kind of threw their hands up in the air and said, "No, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
Not doing this anymore." But it's sad. Good news, the U.S. Department of Transportation and Federal Highway Administration is giving $51 million in reimbursement funding for the 2023 flood repairs, so road repair.
Oh, nice.
So, in a written statement, Senator Bernie Sanders and Peter Welch and Representative Becca Balint said the aid is necessary to offset the cost of repairing roads and highways destroyed during flooding across Vermont. 51 million is a good chunk, and I know that they've been fighting really hard to get that through, and it's awesome to hear that they were able to.
I hope that they can replace the bridge on Berlin Street, because I'm not going to lie to you, the idea of losing that bridge is not something I'm
It's a
looking
safety
forward to.
risk as far as I'm concerned. It really is. I would love to know. First of all, if emergency services had to get to the Beltline, Highgate, Countryway, Berlin Street, any of that end, and they have to go to all the way to and turn by Denty's, and then they would have to turn right by and go down Smith Street, which is pretty much, you can't even travel that road. Because we have the big bike path that goes to nowhere, as somebody reminded me real recently. Like, it just, a lot of money and time was invested into that, and it goes to nowhere. But
Well,
so
is it
anyways,
the bike path up on, Prospect to the high school or the school, which people are now afraid to go because of
right. Oh, the one
not-
up off
not-
of Fairview Street.
not because of
Right, but because of
but-
crime and
yes,
squatters.
we don't
and,
want to say what it is
Yeah, yeah.
because we're not allowed to.
But it's not allowed to. Are you out of your mind? Like,
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, so they would have to go to the intersection by Mr. Z's, the four-way, and I've actually seen one accident there and almost witnessed several with the emergency crews just trying to get through the unless we can find a way to turn all the lights red and nobody moves kind of thing. I don't know what, but then even then they're wasting time to go all the way to that end only to turn around and go all the way back before they can go up. It just, the minutes that you lose could mean somebody's life, and I don't think it's worth somebody's life. So it's a safety issue.
Glenn's asking me to spill the beans. I'll just say, watch the city council meeting from Tuesday night as they talk about the increase in crime. And the issue is that nobody goes to the bike path, which is the reason why there's no reports of suspicious activity. People are afraid to go there. That's what I've been told. Mm-hmm. Nothing, I'm not going to talk about the fact that we got people that live in the porta potties that were put out.
Right. Exactly. And,
Sorry.
we all know, there's nothing to be sorry about. It's actually one of the things that I was going to bring up is that, and the fact that, Mayor Lozon brought up the fact that he had met with the people at the Barry Congregational Church, as well as some volunteer and community members there, about the uptick in drug use, vandalism, harassment, that they have volunteers that will not volunteer anymore because of it. I know that some meetings that are held there for Turning Point and other meetings that are held in that area at the churches, the people feel the same way about them, the volunteers, the people that run the meetings, as well as the people that attend the meetings. It's a problem, and I'm 100% with him. Your living situation, your medical situation, whether you are suffering from substance abuse disorder, or anything like that, it doesn't excuse or give you the right to vandalize the gazebo like that. It doesn't give you an excuse to commit the crimes and be acting like that. That's right there is a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
The level of disrespect, and
It's not okay.
no, and I think you and I talked about it a little bit last Thursday, that I was upset at the vandalism at the gazebo, and I was really actually shocked because I thought that it had just gotten all fixed up, and apparently it had, and within literally just couple of days tops, it was vandalized again, and it's, I don't, I wish that there was something that we can do to stop that. And the fact that, it went right into, well, what about the porta potties? And that, well, even though we know that somebody died in a porta potty, but, we still want to have them out. And I think there is truth to it. It gives somebody else another shelter to commit crime. And
And it's too bad because, I mean, specifically, I think of the porta potty at Courier Park, which is, there's been multiple times where people have been, the police have been called to evacuate the porta potty.
yeah,
With that being said, I mean, you think of concerts in the park, and that it's a community benefit, and it's being trampled by individuals
by disrespect.
by disrespectful
Yeah.
individuals, and it's I don't know, whatever it
Yeah.
is what it is.
And I mean, we've talked about. I was actually there last year with a good friend of mine.
I'll say this: if we didn't have the, I never mind. Keep going.
We were there watching one of the concerts, and her little girl, who's 9, had to use the restroom, and she said, "Well, go ahead and go." And I said, "You're gonna let her go over there by herself? What if she opens that door and somebody's in there and, like, pulls her in there or something?" And she looked at me for a second like, "You're crazy. This is home." And then she was like, "Yeah, I better go. You better go. You better be
Yeah.
the one to knock and make sure it's really vacant." And that the door, she does get the door locked and she stays in there and she's in there by herself. And, you have to be so careful. And even to fear that she could have, sat on a needle or found a needle
Yeah.
while in there or stepped on one with her little flip-flops on or something, It's sad. It really is. It's sad. And sometimes I feel like I can say all that stuff easier than maybe you can, because my son's an addict. This is my life and has been my life every day for the last 15 years now. We just went into our 15th year of this bullshit. And, to the worker who is just a worker who wanted to use one of the porta potties and open that door and had this person in there deceased, and the trauma that they went through. Does anybody ever think about that? What about what that person's going through? And is it horrible that we lost yet another person to an overdose? Yes, it is. It's horrible. But the thought of not creating shelters for this to continue is,
Yeah.
it's a shitty situation all the way around.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to this one. Guess what? They had the first measurable snow on Mount Washington.
Eh.
Yuck.
Was
It was
it
only
80 degrees today?
0.1 inches, but it came nearly a month earlier than last year's first measurable snow, which occurred on October 8th. So we're a little bit ahead of the game. Yeah.
Have you ever been up there?
Oh, yeah. A few times. My parents took us up on the train, which was terrifying. I do not like heights. Never have. I don't like driving up. I definitely didn't like the train ride up. And I'll go up if I don't have to look out, but you're right there and you get super close to the side. I don't like it at all. Coming down is fine because you're on the inside, but no, I don't like it.
I have never been to the top of. I've never been.
Oh, you should take the little green Jeep.
Not right now, considering the fact that if I don't know if my brakes are good.
Right. Yeah, oh, yeah. So you definitely don't want to, because you literally use them all the way down. There's stop points so that you're you can rest your overheating brakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you ride them the whole
Yeah.
way down.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, you
true.
use your transmission too, but you still have to stay on the brakes. But yeah, the first measurable snow. Ugh. And then we need to say a big congratulations to a couple of our sponsors, Yipes Berry and Bevan Sons, as well as Emsley, the Florists and Gifts, for their the big win or the big votes, I guess. They were chosen as best of the best, the Times Argus best of the best.
Nice.
And I've seen a few more come out. I know that the Meltdown also won for best lunch. And so all kinds of great news as far as that goes, but two of our sponsors. So that was great to see, and I'm sure over the next several days we'll hear more and more and more of I think they're only telling like a few a day or something, or maybe there's an edition that I just haven't seen yet that list all of the winners. We'll have to ask Mr. Pappas about that.
Have to do that.
But we will do that. Yeah.
Nice.
So how about you? Do you have anything going on?
I don't have anything.
You have
I'm
nothing
like,
to talk about.
I really don't. I mean, I could talk to you about what's happening on Monday night next week.
Sure.
Want me to tell you what's happening
I
then?
I would love it.
Well, the Barry Beat is going to be deploying Malloy. Yeah, so we're actually going to have Gerald Malloy on the Barry Beat. So if folks want to tune in, that'll be at 8 o'clock. And he's driving up from, I can't remember. It's about an hour away.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But so we're kicking off the interviews. The candidate interviews are being kicked off on Monday night. We have already done a couple of them. We did John Rogers. We did Donald Koch.
Yep. And Gerald Malloy is running for Senate, U.S. Senate. And we've got, so full disclosure, I did offer to do an interview with the Senate candidates for Washington County. Since I'm running as a Republican, they felt that was a little off-putting. Or not off-putting, they just said it might be a little bit of a conflict of interest, which is valid, right? Like, I
But we could
completely
let
get
them
that.
just use the equipment, and I could run the equipment, and somebody else could totally ask them questions. It doesn't have to be you.
True, but I think it feels different. I think so, and I told them that. I mean, they were super nice about it. I mean, there was no like nastiness, which I've gotten before from individuals that unfortunately are
Right.
still in office.
Yeah. Right, because literally
But
it's
not-
just a
not-
platform.
not
We
the-
want them to use
yeah.
the platform, and I hope that some of them hear about it, listen, and know that we just want them to have the platform, and so that they too can just sit here and really just have a discussion.
Right,
From the people that we've already interviewed, both of them got up and said, "You don't know how great that was to just sit and feel like I was having a conversation with everybody." And I think that that's what the voters like
agree.
as well. They like to have that. It's a conversation. They're not having somebody sit here and read off the answers that they've practiced for hours and hours on end and feel like they're being bullshit about things. They like to have that open conversation.
Right. Absolutely.
So I
And-
hope that they will at least maybe think about coming in. And you don't have to be, I can do what you do, and they can have somebody else ask
You
the questions
can-
that they would like.
You can do it, but I mean, obviously, you can.
I'm quite
try.
capable. I'm actually quite capable.
I mean, not.
Don't
not-
forget it.
Not as. You can sit there and say what you want, and it's like I can do anything you can do better. No, I can. No, I was trying to goat you into singing the song.
No.
Lame.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, congratulations to all of the best of the best. The Times Argus Best to the Best. No matter who you are, no matter who got the notifications, congratulations to everyone. I mean, that's a pretty big deal to know that your entire community voted you in. That's got to be a really good feeling to know that. So, and the Den, let's talk about the Den again. So the Den is looking for help. They need a couple of cooks. You can apply in person at the Den during business hours. The business hours are posted on our page as well as the Den's Facebook page and Google, of course. So they're looking for a couple of cooks. Jeff he's pretty damn good at it. I mean, he made some killer stuff last night, but I'm just thinking that, he doesn't want that to be his full-time job. So,
No, you know what he wants his full-time job to be?
just monitoring.
Monitoring the pups. He's got a phenomenal job during the day.
Yes, he does.
He does Holly Daycare, which Leah goes to, and when she comes back from, she's dead.
Right, she was so,
So
tired
tired.
from playing.
Yes, and that's the kind of job. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm half tempted to quit National Life, and
Oh, you're so full of shit. Good Lord.
I would.
Oh, no, it would be a cool
It would be an
job to have,
amazing
though.
job to just play with dogs all day long.
I mean, they are, I don't know about him and his wife, Heather. I mean, they are crazy. He does, so he has a full-time job too, and then she's a nurse, and it seems like that's all they do is work. I mean,
Man.
she's an RN, so, but the two businesses and the full-time job, and it's just crazy.
Business owners. I mean, we think of Lisa St. Louis, who
Got Tasty Bites
who's
right
got
next
Tasty
door.
Bites,
Yeah.
right? And she's also looking for help.
She's looking for a wait staff and dishwasher part-time, and you can also go in and apply right there at Tasty Bites as well.
And she works, from 5 a.m. in the morning. She gets done at Tasty Bites and then jumps into the van and the food trailer. And that's another 5-6 hours.
Yeah, it's
insane.
It's a lot. So
Small businesses are the backbone of our country.
Yes,
and
they are.
We need to support them.
yeah,
Go to
and
Tasty
they're
Bites,
not
go to the
always.
Den.
So the Den is looking. So they're looking for cooks.
Get your hats done
And
by Yipes.
yes, get your hats done and everything done by Yipes. But I just want to stay with the Den for a minute to say that this weekend is a double band weekend. Again, we'll have a double Diamond Special on Friday night at 9 and Exit 23 on Saturday night at 9. So, yeah. And then, yes, Yipes, Barry, Bevan, and Sons. So, did you see the Emsley's vehicles? I posted
did.
them yesterday.
I did.
That's a really kick-ass logo.
Yeah.
And that must have been hard. You imagine getting all of those flowers to lay on that van or SUV just so and that perfectly. I mean, it just looked amazing and super cool. And they can do just about anything. Car wraps. I've seen coolers inside for stores, Cabot cheddar, Cabot this, Cabot that. They do the wraps for those. And then windows and storefronts and yard signs and apparel and all kinds of gifts. Basically, if you can dream it, they can make it. And if you can't dream it and you need a little help, Val will dream it for you.
She will.
Yeah.
She came up with my design. Well, she also came up
With 802
for
Scoop.
the 802 Scoop
Yeah,
design. Or
I can't wait
a
until
minute,
you have your
Right.
embroidered one.
right there.
Yeah.
That 802 Scoop
Yeah,
sign.
the logo.
Yep,
So
and-
she's damn good at what she does.
Yeah, she definitely is. She also did the Bootin' for Barry
Yeah.
logo, which I have a bunch of hats that I got to go down there and purchase.
Yeah. It's awesome. And she she puts a lot of time and effort into all of that. She's very patient and she just there it's a good place down there. And they do so it's not just graphics. They have They do oil changes, inspections. I call it pimp my ride. You know, you can have just about anything done to your car. You can have a window tint, you can heated seats and light packages and all kinds of different, accessories for your car, and then custom floor mats and stuff by WeatherTech, and roof racks, ski racks, bike racks, trailer hitches, you name it. They do it, and right now they're doing the undercoating. They're taking appointments for undercoating, which is super important.
I got to do
especially here in Vermont. So, yeah.
Nice.
So, and then Ruthier Quick Lube and Auto Center is also looking for help. Ruthier's is looking for a auto technician to add to their team. Competitive pay Monday through Friday in a well-established family-owned and operated auto center with a state-of-the-art service center. They also sell cars, and they also employ the one and only Colby Ruthier, who is the god of reconditioning cars. I mean, seriously, I have seen some cars go in there that were ready for the junkyard. JD Green.
Maggots?
Yes, when he had them in his trunk. But he took his car, he only had Colby do the front first because he wasn't ready to clean out the back yet. And so, but it looked brand new. I mean, he does a really, really good job. Yeah.
I wonder if I should bring my Jeep up there and have him do my Jeep.
He
be a
does
good idea.
amazing. He is so very picky. But so they literally, when they say join the team, it's a team. They have very much people that do, it's awesome. It's just an awesome place. So check it out. Go in. You can apply in person. You can apply by sending your resume or just an email of interest to ruthierauto@gmail.com, or you can call 802-622-0080. And we haven't even gotten to the community calendar yet.
Let's go.
Oh my good Lord.
Do you want to also make a comment about the fact that we're
Go ahead.
Hundreds are slated to lose their housing voucher for
Yes.
the hotels.
Yes, that is.
And that's on the 16th.
16th, yeah.
September. Yeah, 16th, right? I think.
So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just folks be prepared for that.
it is coming up very fast and furious.
Yep.
The Tunbridge Fair is in full swing.
All right.
I thought,
have you been there?
my mic?
I
No,
mean, I've only been there once.
I have not been to the Tunbridge Fair in years.
Yeah, it's been a couple years for me.
Many years, maybe since
Back
my
in the
kids.
day, Raylan?
Yeah,
Back in the
yeah,
day
back
when-
in the
when
day,
you were
like
young?
literally, when my kids were maybe
When you weren't really old.
yeah, but they were like probably 5 and 7 when the last time I went there, and they are now 32 and 34. So, it's been a hot minute.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, been a hot minute. But they go and they love it. It's one of their most favorite places to go. And I don't really go to any of the fairs, to tell you the truth, because I get EBGBs about, I don't like being boxed in. I don't like not knowing what's behind me. If I'm in a crowd, I'd rather stand up against a wall so that nothing can stand behind me. I'm a little bit freaky like that. It gives me horrible anxiety. I don't like big crowds at all. It's why I don't go to a lot of concerts, and I love music, but it's something that, well, quite frankly, scares the shit out of me. I really don't like it much. That's why I don't go to the movies. I don't like to go to the movie
You won't go
theater.
to the movies?
Nope. I'll go in my car into a drive-in, but I don't want to be in a movie theater where I don't know what's going on around me. I don't like it.
Do they still have a drive-in down in Rutland?
They have one in Randolph.
Randolph? Oh,
Or
they do?
Bethel, Randolph is called the Bethel Drive. Yeah. And there's one in Verily, and there's one in Burlington. Yeah, there are
I
several.
didn't know
I
that there
wish
was
we
all
still
this.
had ours. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I just don't do the whole fair thing. I used to go to the Lancaster Fair with my ex-husband. We used to go and watch the horse pulls, and I really enjoyed doing that. But it wasn't like super crazy busy, and you just went in, you went right to the grandstands, and that's where you were. We didn't ever do like all the rest of the stuff.
All I can say is a fair is a fairable smorgasbord.
It's really
Smorgasbord.
expensive, and I know how to
After
make
the
fried dough.
crowds have ceased,
I know how to make fried dough.
each night there can be found on candy on the ground, all around, all around.
Is that Charlotte's Web?
It is! Good job! Except for I butchered the song.
That was, yeah, I used to watch that movie with my kids. But anyway, so that is that. The Tunbridge Fair has started, and that's like the biggest deal around here, I think, or in a lot of Vermonters, that's a big deal for the Tunbridge Fair. Like, that is the fair. So, all kinds of stuff going on at the senior center. They have different things going on all throughout the week. Invite you to please check out their Facebook page. There's cribbage and arts and dancing and lunches and yoga and all kinds of great things that are happening there and happen all the time. So please check that out. Tomorrow night, Concerts in the Park is the Champlain Shoregasm. I have no idea.
Where's concerts in the park
In Courier Park. So,
tomorrow night?
oh no, it was tonight.
No, it's tonight.
I'm saying it's tomorrow night. Oh yes, it was tonight. Well, thank God my ad on here said tonight. I'm saying tonight. It's probably all over now, isn't it?
It is.
Yep, it's over.
It is.
Oh well, don't kill me. Here's a cool one, and I know a lot of people that are going to this weekend. And I don't know if you're into it or not, but the Brick Universe. There's this big Lego thing going on at the Expo, at the Champlain Valley Expo this weekend, the Saturday and Sunday. Do you like Legos? You put all those little kits together and whatever?
Not real. I mean, they're Legos. Everybody likes Legos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know who really likes Legos? Jeffrey Tupper Giles.
Yes, he told me that he'd like to do a podcast about Legos.
Oh, well, where is he? You know what? He's not even.
He would like to
watching.
do tutorials and like build kits with people.
He should.
While live. There's the grand opening of the Cabot Creamery Yellow Barn, and that's happening in Hardwick. Pumpkin picking at the Lighthouse Hill Farm. So that'll be really cool. That's happening right over here in Williamstown. Butterflies of Vermont with Kate Taylor. That's still happening right now. Let me see. Tree identification field class. That's going to be held this Sunday in Hubbard Park. CVMA VT 26 Auxiliary Scholarship Ride. There's a mouthful. That is happening, and that is happening from the Den this Saturday at 9 a.m. You can read all about that as well. The International Observe the Moon Night. Hopefully it's all good moons, but that is happening at the Kellogg Hubbard Library in Montpelier, and that is happening Saturday, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. and it goes until 8:30 p.m. That might be kind of cool. Taste of Montpelier. There's during the farmers market and all of that stuff that goes on down there at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Let's see, April's Maple. is having an open house. I've not heard of this before, but it is, she's going to be at 663 South Berry Road, which I believe is also Wilkins, Harley Davidson. Pretty sure that it is. But she's from Canaan, Vermont, and there's going to be a public event hosted by Central Vermont HOG chapter 5218. So that's where that will be.
It is the Harley Wilkins
Yeah.
Harley Davidson.
There is a free healthcare clinic up here at Hubbard Park as well, East State Street in Hubbard. It's like on the corner of East State and Hubbard in Montpelier. That's happening as well now, and that's been going on all day. Rockfire. This may be the last one they do, and they intend to have it go out with a bang, they said. It actually made national news. I saw it on national news tonight, and then I saw it more local news that that this could possibly be the last Rockfire. They're going to maybe pull the plug on that, which would be really unfortunate because I thought it was a very well-attended event and something that people really look forward to. And I don't know a lot about why they're doing that or what the discussion is because I was in a planning commission meeting, and I didn't catch the whole thing. But there are several reports that this may be the final one, and we've posted that as well. Glenn liked this one. Plainview Farm Smokehouse, 70 pounds of old school bacon. Event. That was happening like right now. So why are you watching us, Glenn? Did you go get your bacon? Did you go get your bacon? I want to know. But it was on Scott Hill Road in Barrie, and it says only two people went, but they were back, and the shouts for more of the signature bacon that they have, and they had all kinds of it, the brown sugar and salt and different flavors, but
Bacon, it's amazing no matter what kind of bacon it is. Have you ever had chocolate covered bacon?
no, I've never. I've had candied bacon, but I've never had chocolate covered bacon.
Are you too good for chocolate covered bacon?
No, Jerry's Sports Tavern is closed all day on Saturday for a private event. Phoenix Fit and Games, that is happening this weekend. And that is 70 Websterville Road, and it's a CrossFit Games, and the Taco Shell is actually going to be there with them. So,
Nice.
How does that work?
CrossFit and taco?
And tacos. I want to know.
Well, so, and I'm sure the Taco Shell doesn't have this problem, but
Maybe
if
you
it was
just
Taco
eat-
Bell,
Maybe you just eat
would
a
make sense.
ton of tacos and then you work it all off for the CrossFit.
and again, like I said, the Taco Shell doesn't have this problem, but I've heard that Taco Bell goes makes it go quickly.
Oh, okay. Well, this is happening.
But this is although maybe it's just tacos in general.
Maybe. The admission is from 8 to 9, and then
Poquito
the
Taco
actual
Bell.
event is from 9 to 5. Fun and friendly day of meeting and competing against fellow Phoenix members. So the Phoenix program is a program near and dear to my heart. They have a lot of the stuff is held right out back here at Washington County Mental Health's building on Summer Street. It is a program for people suffering with substance use disorder, and but you have to stay clean, sober, and healthy to be a part of this. You have to have a certain number of days of clean time before you can become a member, and you have to maintain that. And it is a true family, and it's all recovery. They help you with recovery. You're getting a counseling, assistance, as well as the adrenaline of the gym and stuff that people enjoy. So it's a really super cool program. But anyways, there's all kinds of more things happening. There's a craft fair at the Berlin Elementary School on Saturday. That's the Kiss Summer Goodbye Craft Fair. Thunder Road is tomorrow night, and
Is that the one where they're going to have the cow plot tossing?
oh no, not yet. That's
No?
not the Milk Bowl yet. But tomorrow night is the last night that anybody that was involved with Race to Read can turn in their logbook. So tomorrow night is the final night for that.
So I was
yeah.
told that the cow plot tossing is for politicians. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Somebody told me that was what
Maybe.
it was for, and they talked to me like, you know, you wouldn't want to do that, and I'm like, is it dry? I mean, as long as it's dry, it's not that bad. You just pick it up and throw it. I mean, even if it's wet, as long as it's not too wet where it's like going through your hands, that
Right,
would
as
be
long
a
as you
problem
could
for
still
me.
throw it.
As
Yeah.
long as you can throw it.
Well-
you know what? I'm tempted.
Is Glenn the only person watching us?
There's only two people. There's one person on YouTube and one person on Facebook.
Oh, I show 5 on Facebook.
Okay, so folks, I need to know. I need you to post right now saying that you're watching because my screen says a total now says there's 3 people watching
Right.
the 802
Or
Scoop on
just tell
Facebook.
us what number you see up above.
Yes, do that.
Yeah.
Tell me what number you
Next
see
to
at
the
the
little
top.
I.
Yes,
Just type in
please,
that number.
Please type in that number
It
and
is
let us
weird.
know.
It is very weird how that all works.
Yeah.
Yes. We know that Glenn's watching because he's a faithful.
He is, and it's past his bedtime.
I know.
We're at
'cause
8:07
We're
right
at
now.
8:07, but we're all done. I mean, that's
We
it.
are.
We crammed it all in there.
But we're still waiting for people to post how many they see at the top
People
of
are
their
not
screen.
good about doing that. They're not good about commenting. But, you know,
Well, all right.
whatever. We tried.
All right.
Oh, your mama's watching.
My mom's watching. Hopefully she doesn't watch too early where I was talking smack about her.
And I was talking all nice about her.
You were.
But anyways, we'll let you go. We'll see you all on Monday evening. And once again, Jared Malloy will be with us. And that interview will start at 8 p.m.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
And then next week, I do want to say that next week, we're going to start getting into like the new schedule. Where there are some people, you know, getting all of this put together has not been
Yep.
easy. And there's been, you know, there's people that we want to interview and they need to ask their boards or they need to,
Yeah.
you know, they need to make sure it's okay. So slowly we're getting into things. So next week on Tuesday, there will be, and it's no secret, we know the girls will be here Monday. It's no secret on Tuesday. The girls will be here Wednesday. You and I will be here Thursday. And then hopefully I will have a guest on Friday, but it's not a sure thing yet. So still waiting to hear. But as soon as I hear, I'll post it. But we're starting to get in the swing of things. And even though it's no set time, it's a set time. It'll be a set time for those days. But each day, it's a different time.
all right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Raylene, of course.
Thank you.
You sit here and tell us everything that's going on, and you do all the hard work, and I appreciate that. I get to sit here looking beautiful the way that I am.
I know I type up the show and
You do.
send it to you, and yeah,
You know what
you're
I
kind
get
of
to do?
spoiled brat.
You know what I get to do?
Click the buttons.
I get to click the buttons and sing. A fair is a veritable smorgasbord, orgasbord.
Is that how you're taking this out?
Have ceased.
Um,
Each night there can be found candy on the ground all